Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new chapter, and that is chapter number 6, Revolt of 1857. Till now, we understood that how Britishers were taking control over our country. This revolt of 1857 was the clearest expression of revolt against the rule over India. In 1857, a major violence took place, firstly in the army, but it shook the foundation of British rule. This revolt was not only for the soldiers, gradually, every common people started linking with this, and that is why it is considered to be the First World War, or you can say the First War of Independence. This revolt was also termed as Sepoy Mutiny. Sepoy means soldier. First cause of this revolt we'll talk about is political cause. As you all know, in previous chapter we have studied about the subsidiary alliance and the doctrine of lapse. These two policies which were given by British to our country reduced the original king and prince in our country. The whole country was taken in charge by them, which made the Indian rulers suspicious. You know, children, the Britishers also stopped the pension and the titles to be given to Indian rulers, which made them very distressed and discontent. Now, second cause we are going to talk about is economical cause. The Britishers brutally exploited our economic condition because they knew without economic power we are unable to do anything. So they started destroying the agriculture and usual policy of permanent settlement system. You remember previous chapter we studied about it, was forcefully given to the farmers, which made resentment among the jamindars. A very happy, or you can say a very heavy taxation policy was also imposed on the people. Now they turn their tactics towards the traditional industry. Who are they? Here they means the Britishers. The artisans and the craftsmen were ruined because of large scale import of cheap British goods. On the other hand, children, when they used to take our goods to their country, gave a very little money to us, but sold those goods in a higher rate in England. The people who were fully dependent on the royal work for their livelihood found themselves unemployment. Unemployed here, it means that they used to work under the royal government of our country, that is the emperors and all. And when these emperors were removed, they lost the whole employment. They were totally unemployed and they could not earn any money for themselves. The drainage of wealth was another economic cause for this revolt. That means the whole money was drained out from our country to England in some or the other way, by the form of taxes, by taking the goods from them, by taking the raw materials from our country. All these things were included. Next comes social and religious causes. Social and religious causes you can understand from the topic only. The British interfered in the religious and customs of Indian communities, which made them insecure and could not comprehend the motives of the British. Many social evils were abolished, which made Indian rebel like sati system, widow remarriage, and women education. The attempts of Christian missionaries to convert people to Christianity induced a big fear among some sections of Indians. Lands belonging to the temples and mosques were taxed. Families dependent on the income from these lands were hurt by this. The British followed a policy of racial discrimination in which Indians were denied from high-ranking jobs and promotions. Caste norms were disturbed when Indians belonged to different castes were placed together in the army, prisons, and railways. Next topic is military causes. The Indian soldiers were the main part, or you can say, solid piece of British army. But they had lot of grievance against the British because Indian soldiers were always considered as inferior by them. The chances of promoting the Indian soldiers were also very less. It was mandatory, it means the meaning of mandatory is compulsory for the newcomers to travel for recruitment as sepoys overseas. And as you all know, our Indian culture, according to our Indian norm, traveling overseas was a caste restriction. The Britishers banded all types of sectarian marks like tilak, turban, and beard, which drastically hurt the religious feeling of the Indians. Next comes your immediate cause. The Indian sepoys were told to use Enfield rifles, and a rumor was spread about this, and that was that these rifles were greased with the cow, and pigs were covered with the caps of these rifles, and the soldiers had to bite them and also to open them. Secondly, the Indians were also frightened that they will be converted into Christians. Now, we are going to deal mainly which is the places or the centers where this revolt was mainly spread, and who were the leaders of the revolt, especially the places, or you can say the centers and the leaders. The first place was Jhansi, which was headed by Rani Lakshmibai. Second was Kanpur, which was headed by Nana Sahib. Then Ara, Kunwar Singh headed it. Delhi by Bahadur Shah Zafar. The rebellion started looting the government treasuries, and the revolt lasted for only 1 year. Then it was suppressed by the British. We are going to deal with the next topic, and that is, what was the reason of the failure of this revolt? The main failure, you can say the actual failure of this revolt, because you must know that this revolt was not a big successful one, it was a very failure one. There were no planning, or you can say there were no coordination among the rebels. Those who were rebelling against these revolt, there was no coordination among them. They were not helping each other. They were not supporting each other. There was a big gap between the soldiers also and other people also who were involved in this. Second, you can say weak leadership of 1857 Munity. There was no proper leader who can lead this Munity, or you can say the revolt, and take it to a proper you can say proper result, or you can say proper say about a proper guidance was not given by any leader. Superior British army was there. Superior British army means the Britishers were much more intelligent in army for their soldiers, how to deal with the people, how to take revenge from the people. All these tactics were well known to them. Then there was a very limited supply and lack of modern communication. This is a very important topic, you can say this is a very important point, children, to be understood, that they did not had any modern equipments, they did not had any type of modern communication by which they can communicate, because you all know that in olden times they did not had any telephone, or they did not had any mobile phones or any other means of communication, and they were not given so much of modern equipments also, which the Britishers had in comparison to the Indian soldiers. So they didn't have all these things, and they were lacking all these things. Because of that, there was a big failure of this revolt. The mutinous sepoys demonstrated a lack of societal alternative to the British occupation. The prince and the education classes did not support it, or you can say did not participated in this revolt. The educated people, they thought that this is not the way to deal with any type of problem, and that is why they did not support, they did not took part in this revolt. There was a limited spread of revolt. It did not spread to the South India, children, and most of the Eastern and Western India. That is why people did not know actually where the revolt was going on, why they were revolting, and what was the reason for revolt. So all these were the failure reasons of this revolt. Next topic, we are going to deal about the impact or the effect of this revolt. The first is the revolt marked an end of the rule of East India Company, and the administration was taken over by the Queen Victoria in 1858. The Board of Control and the directors were replaced by the Secretary of the State. The Governor General was given the title of Viceroy, and he was made subordinate to the Secretary of the State. The army was reorganized. The whole army was reorganized, children. The Queen of Britain, that is Queen Victoria, issued a proclamation in 1858 assuring the Indian prince that no further annexation would be made. Do you know the meaning of annexation? You remember the doctrine of lapse and subsidiary alliance, all those policies were given. Annexation means to take away somebody's something without their permission. Moreover, the crown promised not to interfere in the social and religious practices of the people. Hence, the queen, she ordered that nobody should interfere in Indian social or religious practices which were done by our ancestors. A general pardon was granted to the rebels except those who were guilty of killing British subjects. Means they were granted a pardon. Pardon means to excuse them, to give them a sorry that they rebelled against the British rule. The revolt proved to be a major source of inspiration and raised patriotic sentiments to the people. That means this revolt, it proved to be a very inspirational patriotic sentiments in our people, because before that time nobody had any type of patriotic feeling. They were not aware of this word, you can say. They were not at all aware of the sentiments which has to be there in an Indian being an Indian. So this was it was a major source to inspire our Indian people to have this sentiment. In all, we can say, children, that the revolt of 1857 was the first war of independence by which the British rule also became very conscious. On the other hand, it sowed the seed of Indian nationalism. So with this, we end up our chapter. I hope with the slides and with my explanation, you have understood.